Good evening, viewers. My name is Pretzle, and today we're playing Sid Meier's Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword. Continuing from where we last left off with our Snaky Consonants Roosevelt game, this happened. So be it. I'm gonna be building units now. Queue up tanks. Barracks. Queue tanks. We have a lot of submarines, that's nice. Submarines aren't going to do much good against this shit. Of course, point of note, this city is going to be total trash for the next 10 turns. He's not going to be able to do a damn thing with it. Alright, so one thing I should do, just for backup purposes, it is 1896, save that. And, okay, Portland, no, I was mistaken. Portland I thought had unimproved tiles at some point. Obviously I workshopped over all of those. Everything has improved tiles except this thing. This tile up here in Baltimore, and the shitty tundra tiles in Cincinnati and Sarmatian. Otherwise every tile is improved, by the looks of things. Although that might change with stuff going on in Philadelphia. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't. Regardless, we want tanks being pumped out of Boston. Tanks being pumped out of Atlanta, and yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Just pump out tanks from Houston as well. This is what I get for not having a military for most of the game. I end up being picked on by one of the stronger, or I suppose stronger AIs, yeah, or more aggressive AIs at least. So I have, in theory, 10 turns to claim back Philadelphia. I am going to have to do what I said earlier I wasn't intending on doing, and that is using air units as siege, because that is going to be the most effective thing. Now, where do I have an airport? Washington. You know what, Washington, why not? I don't need Mount Rushmore, I don't really need paratroopers right now. Let's just get bombers out. And hopefully a couple others, please. Boston, no. Seattle? Yeah, Seattle as well. Don't really need the transport right away. Three turns till bombers. And one more maybe? Houston? Yeah, Houston can pump out bombers as well. That's fine. Before... No... Houston can pump out tanks and bombers. If there's one other city that I can get to build bombers, which is Miami. Don't need any of this shit. Not straight away, anyway. I'll get around to fixing that later. Right, so that's fine. Specialists have started disappearing because of reasons. And unfortunately, I will probably have to rebuild Oxford University and Wall Street. Yep, I need to rebuild Oxford University and Wall Street, which is a shame. But yeah, that's the cost of war. So, Portland, I don't need you to be producing paratroopers. I want you to finish up your current paratrooper and build tanks. San Francisco, same story. Finish off your current paratrooper, build tanks. Chicago wants to clear its queue, basically. Yeah, you don't even need them all. I'll put them all later. Build a barracks and then tanks. Where doesn't have barracks that is building units? Atlanta should have a barracks. Portland does have a barracks. What am I reading? Right, okay. Miami is building things. Detroit should have a barracks and be building tanks as well. Detroit has fairly decent populations, that's fine. And St. Louis is okay as it is, so barracks and then tanks. What does that mean we're doing? Buffalo may as well finish its customs house, really. It's only one turn away. After which, barracks and tanks. Hopefully we can make it through this without losing any more cities. Boston in particular. Although with that said... you're only two turns away from completing that university, so yeah, you can finish that. And then get on with... no, actually. Airport and the bombers. Just cuz. Denver and... actually, Denver's very close to having its shit done as well. So yeah, barracks. Tanks. Oh, you already have an airport? Yeah, you already have an airport. Okay, skip the barracks and tanks, you're going straight into bombers. I was not aware that you were so far ahead. Okay, no problem. Right, so Philadelphia and Atlanta are obviously the next likely targets for this stack. It can't get to either in a single turn. The most it can do is get a few tiles away. So I'm actually going to cancel my automatic unit movement. I am going to stop producing submarines in New York and start building tanks instead. And I am going to move my stock of paratroopers over to Boston so that they can act as defensive units. And obviously they're not meant to be used as defensive units, but and actually, can I get anything over to Atlanta in a single turn? I can. Okay, so I could split that stack, that's fine. And actually, yeah, I'm going to have all my naval units follow them. It's simply not possible for them to take a city with that many units in. So I do not feel concerned about that in the slightest. I'm actually going to leave just one of those there and move the other two up there to Boston. Then think about how many land units I have. 21 land units versus the... how many did he have here? I think it was 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 11 units there. I have, including the warrior, that is 23 units. Alright. So, in time, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sorry, I stand corrected. I had 22 units in this city. So I can move half of them to Atlanta in this single turn. And that renders it strictly impossible, I think, for him to take... oh god, no, he has transport. Is that incoming or outgoing? I think that's incoming. Okay, oh well. I'm boned. No, I can reclaim this fairly easily, I'm sure. It's only been one turn of war, Pretzle, and I have the production advantage, I believe. Like, whoop-de-fucking-do, he's taken Philadelphia. What do I care? That's not going to be an issue. I'm just going to shove this... Actually, no. Let's chop these forests. Get some more production out for Denver. Get that happening faster. Going to turn my research down. I need all the money I can get at the moment. And end turn here. That was a long turn. Ragnar wants me to cancel deals with the Romans. Don't care. Did he move any units? No, he moved all those ships away by the looks of things. That's good. Gonna sleep all those guys. What odds does a tank have? A tank has 65.9% odds against these guys. And I can get there in a single turn from where I am. At no defensive cost. Let's get that paratrooper over here. Stalin has reduced my defenses in Atlanta to 0. So what he's doing there is using his ships, actually, to bombard the city defenses, using ships as siege, which is, again, something else you can do. Not something really worth doing for me at the moment, but so get that fish up and running, get a bit more going for Sid Sushi. Sid Sushi, unfortunately, at the moment is not going to be turning a profit for me, for the reason that that I don't have the headquarters within my borders. Which sucks, but so be it. Get a paratrooper over here. And you sleep for now. This submarine, I don't need more submarines. What are you doing building submarines? Build tanks, you already have a barracks. And I guess you go to Boston or something. That's fine. Go to Boston, whatever. Probably shouldn't have all my eggs in one basket, i.e. all my ships in one city. But, meh. Hey, Stalin doesn't want me to pass turn. Yeah, so we're actually pretty good. Let's put a turn into research now. I want to get closer to mobile artillery if I can. And I'll switch some of these tank productions to that. That is the only thing I need for mobile artillery, isn't it? Yep. So, barring the tragedy of Seattle being struck, which is something I should probably plan for. And actually, on that note, that is something I can do with all these submarines. They need to be actually doing something, so they can stick around defending my borders a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going to whack combat 1 on all of them. You probably didn't hear me say that. Or that. Just going to stick combat 1 on all of them. I can't be bothered to think about the promotions these guys get. So, end turn. Tanks should be building up. Oh, oops. So where did I lose combat there? Was that just the submarines? Enemy airship. Fishing boats destroyed. Yeah, just submarines. Okay, that's fine. That's not a problem. Not ideal, but not a problem. Do get favourable odds in the long run. So yes, I'm going to do that. These guys can all go back to Boston to repair, then sit still. Need to defend this oil, so I'm sticking units on there. Yeah, fishing boat's been destroyed, that's nice. Shit sucks, but Hmm. So I want to be getting the advantage with the nuclear weapons thing, which is why I'm not building the Manhattan Project. I want to be at peace whilst I'm constructing the tactical nukes. And I also don't want to be on the back foot, which is what Stalin's got going on here. Okay, do I get a... I do get favourable odds with the thing. Sorry, with paratroopers is what I was meaning to say there. Do I continue to get favourable odds? Yes. Alright, how about with the Navy SEALs? I'm assuming I do, yes. Navy SEALs are, strictly speaking, a better unit. So what works out better? Combat 1 or first strike chance? 84.2, 82.4. No, combat 1 it is. I have a Navy SEAL here, okay. 96.8. And what are my tanks odds? 93.6 and 60.2. Right, you've taken a bit of damage. Right, I'm getting really good odds with these paratroopers now. Good, good. Let's send these guys in. That tank still gets 81.2. This also destroys all the naval and air units he has in his city, because because he's got them docked there, and I burned them in port. I take the city back because it was still in revolt. I get all that shit fine. Everything's back to normal. So we want our library, market, bank back apparently, because he destroyed all those. And... ugh. This sucks. I'm sorry, Philadelphia. That was brutal. Alright, Stalin, do you want peace? No. Okay. Let's do what I said I wasn't going to do and engage in conventional warfare against Stalin, then. I definitely was not planning on doing this, but why not, right? So submarine can sit on the oil tile. Tank can go to Seattle because that is the next crucial thing to defend. I want at least one tank in each city before I go on the offensive. If I'm able to get enough victories in combat, then the AI will determine that I have, or that it's worth negotiating peace in my favour. And this is why I built a scout earlier. So send this guy over here, and then the great general I had, Sun Tzu. Oh, cool. Lead troops as a warlord on top of this scout, which already has combat 1. Lead troops as a warlord. Can now give him medic promotions. Unfortunately, I can't give him leadership. That is the case if you're charismatic. But this scout is now what is known as a super medic. The whole point being, he is incredibly good at healing a stack that you have in a city, or that you're moving around enemy territory. Wasn't actually expecting to use him that much this run, but seems things have taken a turn. So, see how shit goes. Now though, I actually do require a city pumping out... what do you call them? Transports. So, if Seattle could continue doing both, and send its units to New York... no, to Boston. If Los Angeles could do tanks and transports as well, sending all of its units to Boston. Then where else has a dry dock? Atlanta has a dry dock. You don't need to finish off that tank. Finish off the submarine. Build me a couple of battleships. 3 battleships. And that should do, actually. No. 4 battleships. Ugh. Poor Philadelphia. Anyway. Influence civics? Oh god, I could force Pikal to switch civics. Nice. Is he in civics I don't want him to be in? Actually, saying that, he's in environmentalism. I think he needs to be in environmentalism to push for the mandate for everyone else to be in environmentalism. I might be wrong with that, though, so it's not worth me forcing him to switch into free market. Karl is plotting war. No. Sorry, he has enough on his enough on his hands right now, which is what that fist means. Enough on his hands right now referring to what his excuse is if you attempt to ask him to declare war on someone else. Meaning he isn't plotting war, fundamentally. That is useful for me to know. Well, I guess since I'm going this route, let's go laser. Not ecology yet. Laser composites? Yeah, laser, computers, composites, stealth, advanced flight, stealth. Robotics, maybe? Yeah, then we'll go robotics and then ecology. By that point I'll have won the war. There's not a whole lot else going on, although Pakal's presence in the space race is concerning. I need to flatten him, or at least take his capital, prior to 10 turns passing after he launches his space rocket. After he launches his spaceship. That is something that's fundamental. If I don't do that, then he'll win. Tanks in Boston is correct. In fact, yeah, let's go through this city by city. Washington's building bombers. That's fine. Washington can continue to construct bombers. Actually saying that. Bombers and tanks. New York. Just tanks. Boston, tanks. Philadelphia. Library, Market, Bank, Jewish Temple, yeah. You do that. Jewish Temple first, actually, for the hammers. No. Library first for the efficient commerce multiplier. Atlanta, submarine, then 4 battleships. That is correct. And then I think you're good, actually. So yeah, then construct tanks, like everyone else. Chicago, barracks and tanks. Seattle, bombers and transports. That's correct. San Francisco, tanks. Los Angeles, tanks and transports. Houston, tanks and bombers. Portland, tanks. St. Louis, tanks. Miami, bombers. Buffalo, tanks. Detroit, tanks. New Orleans, tanks. Baltimore, tanks. Summation, airport and bombers. Denver, bombers. Cincinnati, infrastructure. Grocer and factory. God, you still don't have a factory yet? Jeez. Alright, well, yeah, factory then I suppose you may as well put a hydro plant rather than a coal plant. Stop you suffering from so much with this bloody unhealth. 80% American and 19% Maya in Izamal. Zama's good as well. Izankanak is also very good. So I think we're fine for the unit production thing. I want every city to have a tank in it at least. And then I want to get a navy going so I can launch the assault on these cities here and then his mainland. I don't think he has any other cities around. No, it doesn't look like it. But yeah, Taking Moscow and Novgorod isn't something that's going to be easy to do, but that's the only way I'm going to stop him from having ships. So that's fine, yeah, I'm just going to let the turns roll by now. Excellent! The people of Izankanek wish to join our illustrious empire. Should we welcome them? Yes, install a new thing. Vote Pretzle. Izankanek has enough culture in it already, really. Though that said... No, it doesn't. Yeah, get the culture going. Then yeah, these things are correct. So these are the things that Bakal already built in here that I don't need to rebuild. Barracks, granary, lighthouse, harbour, customs house, airport, forge, factory. Excellent. Coal plant, excellent. Courthouse, jail, levy, intelligence agency, and security bureau. What a shock. So rather than running a spy, how about you run an engineer, please? And then I get 2 free infantry units out of that to defend the city with. And then we're going to get Sitsushi over here from, say, Portland. Sitsushi and Binding Ink. Because I can afford to lose the tanks for now. And then I'm going to work on getting Yokib to culturally flip. These two should really not be far behind at all after this one's done. I can't do spread culture here yet until I have borders encompassing that, which should happen once Sarmatian expands twice. The borders from Izankanek are a bit harder to tell. But I would expect that this is one of them. And therefore 2 more border pops from Izankanek, and that should be fine. I believe I have a Jewish missionary somewhere as well, yes. So you go to Izankanek and spread culture, spread religion. Meaning, Jewish temple first, don't bother with culture. Actually, what? Okay, fine, do bother with culture, then Jewish temple, then library, market, grocer, bank. That's good. Okay. So leave the spy in here for now, that's not a problem. And bombers go to... well, let's say Seattle. Yeah, Seattle and Washington can hold the bombers, not a problem. Let's chop that. What are trees? We don't want trees in our civilization. Did I tell Seattle to build air units? I did. It has an airport, so we can hold 8. That's not a problem for now, but I do need to keep that in mind. Right, let's have these guys take combat 2, and then fortify until healed. This tank can be the one that guards Boston for now. Note that he has more battleships en route, and I don't have good combat odds. Regardless, I do need to sit still with that. SNV whiskey, oh yeah. Yeah, his battleships are frustrating to say the least. This scout, I think, can go over here to Boston, since that's where I'm rallying my naval units. The submarine can work its way towards that nonsense over there with the battleships and the oil. Let's get a railroad built there before you help out with the other stuff. You go to New York. You guys also all go to New York, Boston. Same thing, right? So fortify until healed on everyone here. Annoying thing about Civ 4's interface is alt-click won't work how you want it to if you are clicking on land units. It'll select the naval units or air units regardless, which is incredibly frustrating. Then fortify until healed, which is 2 turns. So I'm going to turn my research slider down now, and rather than asking Seattle to build bombers, I'm going to ask it to build battleships and then bombers. In fact, does something have a combat advantage against battleships? I swear there was something that had that. I guess not. Now, can I use airstrikes on naval units? I think I can, it's just less effective or something along those lines. Do I have a air unit that can do that? Don't think I have any free. That is a shame. Oh well, no matter. Gonna go one more turn. Okay, so Pikal becomes Secretary General again, that's fine. So what he tried to do was attack my oil defenders there, I think. An offshore platform has been destroyed by a marauding Russian battleship. Fuck. Well, good thing I have this uranium sitting around. Don't know how I was able to do that since I had these units on here, but maybe submarines don't work the way I thought they did. That's annoying. Still, no matter. I guess submarines can't defend as effectively as I had hoped. Well, pumping out battleships it is. That's the only way I'm going to be able to do that. Stalin is working on Denver? Seattle? Yeah, so he's working on softening Seattle for some reason. So that's where I'm going to be putting my units next. Airstrike those battleships, both of you. Excellent, the battleships are gone now. And I'm going to move these guys into Seattle. You guys can sit on the oil still, even though you're not doing as good of a job as I was hoping. Now, not having oil prevents me from building air units, which sucks. So I do need a workboat out as soon as possible. Since otherwise these air units aren't going to be able to do anything. In fact, I can't build tanks either without oil. So let's change that all up now. So that the game can't bitch at me. Navy SEALs. Battleships are fine. Tanks. Place of Navy SEALs. And you know, what am I doing? No. Don't loop the Navy SEALs. Just one Navy SEAL in each of these cities. Because Navy SEALs are going to be useful, regardless. Philadelphia, Atlanta, Chicago. Right, San Francisco I'm caught up now. Navy SEAL. Transport is fine. Tank is not. Navy SEAL. Portland is, yeah, building executives. St. Louis, builds Navy SEAL. Miami, Navy SEAL. In fact, all of these cities, Navy SEAL. I think that works. It does, good. Okay, so what I did there was shift to select multiple cities, and then control clicked, and it put the Navy SEAL at the top of the queue on everything. Then Navy SEAL there, and hopefully that doesn't break next turn, although I fully expect it to. And I will lose all the progress on the tanks and bombers that I've been working on thus far. Which would suck, but so be it. That's the end of the world. Not the end of the world, rather. Hopefully I don't see the end of the world. That's would be worrying if the world ended all of a sudden. Don't want to do that. Not at all. Chop that forest and build a railroad there. And workshop that. Farm that, I think. Yeah. And workshop that. Then I don't strictly need a tank in San Francisco. I only need a tank defender on the coastal cities. So let's move you to Chicago or something. Then all these submarines, which can stay in Boston for now. What I don't need is more submarines. That's a terrible thing. Well, not terrible, but I don't need them right away. Let's put it that way. Okay, that'll do for this episode. Hopefully I can actually make some progress on the war next episode. This might be a bit slow, but at least something's actually happening, which is more than I can say for most of this series thus far. Thank you for watching. I have been and shall continue to be Pretzle. If you liked the video, please like the video and feel free to stick around for more. In the meantime, enjoy the music and don't forget to be awesome.